What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the HasCon exclusive Power Rangers Lightning Collection Lord Drakkon EVOIII. And so here we have the HasCon Lord Drakkon EVOIII posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Lord Drakkon does come with two different head sculpts. We do get a helmeted head, which looks really nice. I do like the design of his helmet. Then we do get an unmasked Lord Drakkon head with the veins and the gray streaks going through the hair. He also comes with two pairs of hands. We get a pair of grip hands. Then we get a pair of style pose hands. We also do get Saba, which does fit in either of his grip hands, and if you don't want him holding Saba, he does fit nicely in the side holster. We also do get a display base with 4 damage Rangers helmets. We do get the red damage, green damage, pink damage, and yellow damage helmets, which all look really nice. And then finally, he does get a lightning effect, which goes all over the base, and it looks fantastic when you have everything put together. Other than that, Lord Drakkon doesn't come with anything else. I think a pair of fists would have been really nice to have for him, because we got the grip hands, style pose hands, fists. He needs to punch people. But with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a closer look at Lord Drakkon. And so here we have a closer look at Lord Drakkon, and I think Hasbro has done an amazing job with this head sculpt. It is the exact same head sculpt that we saw with the retail release of Lord Drakkon, where he had the white costume, but it's still a really nice likeness to Jason David Frank, which I really do like this head sculpt. It looks really menacing. The only thing I don't like about it is how low it sits on the neck. Now that is a reoccurring problem with both the unhelmeted head and the helmeted head. I'm just going to pop his head off really quickly, and then we're going to leave the helmeted head on. And as you can see, it sits really low on this body, which is unfortunate because that does hinder so much articulation. I would have liked it if the head sat just a little bit higher. Like if the head sat right about there, I'd have no problem with it. In fact, that actually looks really nice the way it's sitting there, but it's not secure all the way. If you secure the head, it sits really low, and that's been a problem that the Lightning Collection has had throughout its entire life, so that's something that they really do need to work on. But looking at the helmet, this is also a really nice helmet. It does have similarities to the old Lord Drakkon helmet, as you can see right here, but you can see this one is fancier. I do like the fact that it is black with the gold and the red. It looks so nice. And then we have the tiger part coming up, and you can see it has more flares than the original helmet, so it's really nice. Having a look at his costume, you can see that his shield is also completely different from the original Lord Drakkon, which I do like the fact that it is unique sculpting. So really liking this little detail right here. It looks very good. Now, one issue I do have with the figure is this cape. It's a really nicely sculpted cape. As you can see, the wrinkles on it look really good, especially up here where it connects to the armor, but it does make him quite heavy in the back. As you can see, he has a hard time standing. Luckily, you can take the cape off if you don't want him holding it. It just leaves 3 holes in the back of his armor, which that's not a big deal. It would have been worse if it was glued on and you couldn't take it off, and then you'd forever have a back heavy Lord Drakkon. We're going to leave the cape off for the rest of the review just so we can go over his detail. The shield right here, you can see, has so much nice detail, and it actually has this really nice worn texture going throughout it that's really good. I love the fact that Hasbro is able to give us that worn texture. And it goes all the way on the back. Even on the part that's covered up by the cape, there's still some worn texture, so they didn't just skip out and leave that smooth. It is worn going throughout the back. So really like the detail right there. So for the most part, he does have the exact same body that we've seen from the Lightning Collection. There's really not too many new parts to him. There are new parts, including his belt here, which has the Lord Drakkon EVOIII design right here, and it does have the holster for Saba instead of the dragon dagger. Originally, I thought that his gauntlets were the exact same mold as the original Lord Drakkon, but having both of them side by side, you can see that isn't the case. They actually sculpted brand new gauntlets for the EVOIII Lord Drakkon, which I'm really happy for. And I do have them with the style post hands, which have their own unique sculpt on them as well. So I really like the fact that they went a little above and beyond for this figure. He's not just a reissue of the original Lord Drakkon with like a different paint. I really do like the red paint going throughout his costume. I just kind of wish that it was sculpted. I think that would have looked so much better if they actually sculpted the line work throughout his costume. But I understand why they didn't. It's a cost saving measure, but that's for an exclusive. I want to see like new parts for the figure, and even though it is nicely painted, I think having that sculpted would have looked even better. Now, one issue I do have with the figure is he kind of does feel a little bit stumpy, and I was trying to figure out why that was. I thought that his legs were just shorter than the original figures, but there is something different, and we'll get to that right here with the old Lord Drakkon. You can see the old Lord Drakkon has more costume right above his shin guard right here versus the EVOIII Lord Drakkon, and what that does is that it places the joint lower and makes the new Lord Drakkon just about a ½ inch shorter than all your other Lightning Collection figures. If we were to have them side by side, you can see that the original Lord Drakkon is about ½ inch taller. If they had just made his calves a little bit longer to accommodate the new shin guards, it would make him the same size as all the other Rangers, but unfortunately, he is going to be slightly shorter. Now, you can fix that with perspective pictures, but yeah, I kind of wish that these were a little bit longer just to give him longer legs, because he does seem a little bit stumpy, which is unfortunate. And then we have the traditional Ranger shoes. There's nothing new about his boots. Really do like the new shin guards that he has right here. They look really nice, and again, they're not at all the same design that we saw with the original Lord Drakkon. He does carry over some characteristics, but it's not the exact same design, and I really do like that. This Lord Drakkon is a very nice figure, and I am really glad I did pick him up. So, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed and compare to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Lord Drakkon posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Lord Drakkon posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Lord Drakkon posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And so here we have the HasCon exclusive Lord Drakkon EVOIII posed next to the original Lightning Collection Lord Drakkon. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to Lord Drakkon's articulation. Now, he does have a ball joint on the head, but again, because his head sits so low on that ball joint, we really don't get too much side to side or up and down movement. And because of how his head sits on the joint, we don't get too much forward and back movement either. If you try forcing his head back, you end up popping the head off. And it's the same with both of his heads. The hair hinders this one, and just how low it sits on here hinders the movement. But it does turn left and right, no problem. Again, you're just not going to get too much up and down movement because of the shield right here. Without the cape really doesn't hinder any articulation. The shield is the part that hinders the most articulation. We do have a butterfly joint, which is standard for your Lightning Collection figures, so that works beautifully, and you can see it just moves like butter. It's so smooth. I have no issues with that. Arms are on hinges that go out to the side, all the way horizontal. We do have a bicep swivel up high, which is really nice. We do have a double bend here at the elbow, giving us a little better than 90 degrees. His gauntlet does clash with his armor piece right here, so you can kind of make it a little bit better by bending this joint first, but you're going to get about the same result either way, so that is unfortunate. He does have a swivel and hinge at the wrist, and that works beautifully. We do have your traditional ball joint here for the Lightning Collection, which does go back and forth, side to side, and that does accommodate rotation. So he does have your reverse ab crunch that we've seen on all the other Lightning Collection figures, but on mine, you can see it is starting to open the torso whenever I lean him back, and it just pivots forward. Like, it will always return to the forward position. Same thing mine doesn't have any forward momentum, and I've tried moving it around and I've heard some clicks, but it always returns to neutral position, so that is unfortunate. Moving it back, any type of movement, either touching it just puts it back in neutral, which is unfortunate because that's a really useful joint and mine doesn't seem to have that joint. So it is just quality control, because I can't, well, I can force it, but yeah, anytime you would try to touch it, it just goes back to neutral. So on mine, that's pretty much useless, unfortunately. Legs do kick forward and back. They go out to the side. Pretty good. I do like the range of movement on this figure. It seems to be better than most Lightning Collection figures. Maybe they rework the hips for him, and for future figures, we'll see. He does have a thigh swivel up high. Double bend here at the knee. Works really good. Even though his armor does get in the way, we still get better than 90 degrees. We do have swivel at the armor. A hinge in the foot that goes back. Hindered by the armor again. Doesn't go any far forward just because the way the armor is sculpted, it does hinder that. And then we do have forward facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, he should have all the articulation that you would expect from Lightning Collection, but unfortunately mine has that issue with the abdomen. So yeah, that is unfortunate, but as long as he can stand in neutral, that's how I'm pretty much going to have him posed. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the HasCon exclusive Lord Drakkon EVOIII pose for my final thoughts. And overall, I really do like the inclusion of the EVOIII Lord Drakkon to the Lightning Collection. I think this is a fantastic villain, and the fact that he did make him an exclusive does make it so that you don't have to pick this figure up. If you're a fan of the comics and the continuation of the Power Rangers in the comic books, you're gonna want to have this figure in your collection. Lord Drakkon here is a fantastic figure. I kind of wish that this Lord Drakkon did come with a Dragon Dagger, just because he is known for having both Saba and the Dragon Dagger, which I kind of wish they had given us a new Saba mold, because while he's Lord Drakkon, he doesn't have Saba per se. He actually did break the head off Saba's sword. So yeah, he should have a Saba sword without Saba's head on it, but I'm willing to overlook it because this is still a really nice figure. Now, despite the issues mine does have with the abdomen, I still think this is a really great figure. He is a little bit stumpy just because of the way his legs look. If they had made the slots for his armor a little bit shallower and giving us different calves with him, he'd be about the same size as the original Lord Drakkon. But overall, I'm still very impressed with this figure, but I'm not impressed with the price point. Lord Drakkon here was $50 on Hasbro Pulse website, which is a little bit steep considering we really don't get too many new things with this Lord Drakkon. We do get the cape and shield, the head, the hands, and then the gauntlets, but other than that, he's still your traditional Lightning Collection figure. And then we do get the reuse of the helmets with new paint apps. I kind of would have liked to see those paint apps actually sculpted details, so we have some battle damage sculpted in those helmets. But overall, I still love the way this Lord Drakkon came, and if you're a fan of the Boom Comics, the Power Rangers, you're gonna want to have Lord Drakkon EVOIII in your collection. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other Lightning Collection videos, as well as all my other toy reviews. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.